Hello, welcome back. It's been a few weeks since you've seen me do any work on the Victorian Wash House, but that doesn't mean to say that no work has been happening behind the scenes. First of all, you might spot that this yew tree stump has been cut down to ground level. I have been moving the pieces that were cut away from here today, and I have to say they are very, very heavy. That warmed me up a little bit to start off with. Haven't decided what we're going to do with the rest of the stump yet, but high on Duncan's plan for that is actually to burn it. Now that tree stump isn't all that we've had done since you've been with us. You will notice that we've had the pointing done on the outside, getting a bit of, I think they call it effervescent, don't they, salt or something coming out around where the blue bricks were, but sorting that pointing out has seemed to sort out where water was just trickling and running down the inside of the wall. So I'm really pleased that that's been done. I have yet to tackle the window. It needs some really nice warm weather because we're going to have to take obviously all of the glass out. So that's on the back burner just for now. By the end of this video, the wash house will be 90% complete inside, so do stick around for that, including how I solved the problem of the hole in the wash copper from the last video. But the first thing I need to do is go in the house and get some really old clothes on that I don't mind getting quite mucky. There's a lot to do. I'll catch you inside shortly. The first big job that I'm going to do in here today is actually lime wash these walls. The weather is quite dry at the moment and it's supposed to be getting warmer towards the end of the week, so it should dry quite well in here. I have given the walls a really good brush to remove any loose lime wash on here, and in case you're thinking that this is just normal paint, you can tell it's lime wash when you rub it and you get white on your hands. This is what we've always used to do the stables, and this feels exactly the same as that did when I first started doing it. So in order to do this job, we need to go and find out where the lime is stashed on the farm, because we use it to disinfect the cow stalls. So let's go and see where it is. I seem to be being met with a bit of an audience. Hello. What are you up to? Now Duncan says it's in the back of this shed on a trailer, so let's go and have a look. Oh, I don't know if the barrow will fit through there. No. So I'm going to have to carry it to the barrow. I see it, the bags of it are here, but I'm not entirely certain I can get at it as easy as Duncan suggested that I would. Oh, there's a spider on it. Oh my, it's heavy. Just been to the stables because this is the brush that I used on the stable walls, and this is the bucket that I've used to do this with before. Now my recollection with lime is that it is pretty nasty stuff. You don't want to get it in your eyes or on your skin at all. Ask me how I know that. Yes, I did spend some time in A&E when we did the horse stables, but I did learn from that mistake. So I'm going to put my safety goggles on, and I am going to put a mask on before I even open the bag. I've also got this disposable shower cap. Now, I use these when I'm making sourdough while I'm proofing the mixture. But I thought it would just keep the cap protected as well. And now it's just a case of adding water to it and stirring it. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I want to use this building for food storage. So the fact that lime acts as a disinfectant, because I don't know whether there's been rodents in here in the past, likely. And it's also traditional. I think I've got it thick enough now. It's like a really nice thick paint, and you can see it is coating the piece of wood that I'm stirring it with. I've got a brush here, I'll just try it. Well, that's it, covers the bristles well. I'm really pleased with the result of the first coat of lime washing in here. I will be doing a second coat today, only in the areas that really need it, but I have to say I've been really impressed with it. It went on really well, and I cannot believe how much brighter it looks in here. And I am especially pleased with this wall here, which was particularly dirty, and wow, it looks so much different, doesn't it? Now, at the end of my last video about the wash house, I actually damaged the wash copper when I was trying to clear the rust off it. If you haven't watched that video, I will just show you a little snippet of that now. Oh no! Now, obviously, that was very devastating at the time, and I did get quite a lot of suggestions on how to do a patch repair on it, so thank you very much for those of you that suggested that. Now, I decided against a repair because rather fortuitously, I found another wash copper on Facebook Marketplace. Can you believe that? I absolutely was blown away that there was another one out there. So about a month ago, my sister and I made the trip up north. It was quite a long round trip, about 6 hours in total, to collect this wash copper from a lovely couple, Michelle and Malcolm. So thank you very much for listing that and for your hospitality when we came to visit you to collect it. So obviously we brought that one home, and then I had all these fears about whether I was going to have to dismantle the fireplace to get the wash copper out. Those fears were unfounded though, because with a little bit of brute force, Duncan actually was able to remove our wash copper. So we have had a busy few weeks since you last inside here. I haven't filmed it because Andrew, that does the work for us here on the farm, thank you very much Andrew, doesn't like to be filmed, but he has restored the brickwork on the fireplace. Look at it, I'm so pleased with it. We knocked off the rendering that was sort of half covering the brickwork, and then Andrew has repaired and pointed it all up for us, and I think you have to agree it's looking amazing. I'm really pleased with it. So the next job is restoring a wash copper take 2, and I'm actually hoping that this one will go down okay. It is currently sat inside the other one in here. I'll just get it out. And you can't see inside here properly on camera, but it is perfect, absolutely perfect. It's in so much better condition than mine, but it does have a little bit of surface rust on the outside here, and that is what I'm going to tackle today. I want to get this treated and get it sprayed up before it's permanently fitted back inside. There is only that one tiny spot of rust in this one, but apart from that, it looks like it's hardly been used. It just needs cleaning. Now both wash coppers are out of here, you can see how the fireplace is made, and that the chimney goes out the back. So this is the replacement wash copper, and you can see that there is some surface rust on here, but it's not heavily pitted, so I'm hoping that that will be quite simple to restore. But if you compare it to mine that we've taken out, including the hole that you can see in it there, you can see just how heavily pitted this is and just the amount of surface rust that is on this one. Now, I'm pretty certain that it won't come as a shock for you to hear that I'm not going to use an angle grinder again. I'm going to go about it in a much gentler way this time. Again, I've learnt by my mistakes. So what... Oh, if I can get the gloves on, we'll start. So what I'm going to use this time is actually Nitromors, which is a thick gel rust remover that I can paint onto this surface, and hopefully it will do its job. Well, the first thing I need to do is just clear any loose rust off with a wire brush. Forgot the mask. That's better. So I've wire walled it and I have wiped it off. And now the advice is just to paint this on any bits that are rust coloured. So obviously I'm not going to be painting it all over the grey bits, just the bits in between. It says to apply it liberally, so I have applied it very thickly all the way around, and I've agitated it a few times and gone over it again, and now it says to leave it for 30 minutes to an hour. The next stage is to wait for all of it to turn to grey. Right, as you can see, it has gone grey now, and apparently it's not supposed to dry. I thought I was waiting for it to dry. I'm now supposed to buff it. It says to leave it now for another 30 minutes before painting it, and it does recommend one of these spray heat resistant paints. Now I've bought this one that is a primer and a rust guard in one. I am really pleased with how that's turned out. I'm probably going to give it a second coat, but it's just so nice to see it now protected again. Fast forward to day 3, and I'm really pleased to say that the wash copper has dried really well overnight. Now, it is quite damp in here. We've had a lot of rain and just dampness in the air, which is obviously coming through the holes in the window, hence why the floor is quite wet in here today. And I wasn't going to treat the inside of the wash copper, but actually seeing the dampness that the room is pulling in, I'm thinking that actually I'm going to sand down the inside a little bit now, treat that rust spot, and potentially give it one thin coat of this stove paint just to give it that little bit of extra protection. Now there are a few little bits of plaster stuck in it. One gone. But the only bit of rust we are dealing with is there. It is very light rust. I haven't got the right angle with this brush to get at it though. But what I do have are a couple of pieces of really light sandpaper. Just see. It is a very, very light bit of rust. And then as per yesterday, I'm just going to put a teeny bit of nitramores on that actual thing there, and a couple of little dollops on the mild rust on the edges. Now whilst that nitramose is doing its job, I thought I'd tell you about something else that I've managed to source for the fireplace in particular, and that was reaching out to a heating company that made bespoke fire grates. I was expecting to have to pay quite a bit of money for a bespoke grate. It is only 8 inches square at the end of the day. But they got back in touch with me and said that they decommissioned a wood burning stove recently and they thought the grates within that might just work for me. So here we are. This is what arrived. And they do fit. Because if I just show you, it just sits right in the back. If I want a higher false bottom, I can just sit one on top of the other. I could even do it this way round if I wanted to, because they will stack like that. Now I can also see that there are still some very patchy bits in this lime wash, so this can dry a little bit longer and I'll give this a third coat, but you don't need to be watching that. I'm not going to talk about the lime wash behind me. The more times I try to put coats on, the more I seem to pull lime wash off the walls. So I might have to have a rethink about that, maybe paint it when it's really, really cured for another coat. But back to the wash copper, and I have treated the rust spot that's inside. It is looking absolutely amazing in there. I have given it a really good clean out. I was really undecided whether to spray in here or not because I didn't really want to detract from the fact that this is in its original condition. But when you look to the outside of here, which, although it is a little bit dusty because this dust sheet is dirty, it's the same colour, so it seems pointless not to stick the rust guard paint on it as well. Hopefully that's going to dry just as well as the outside has. Whilst the wash copper and its fresh paint is sitting here curing for a couple of days before it gets fitted here, I have done a little bit of tidying and I have bought a few things that I'm really excited to dress this area up. Ultimately, this is just a garden shed, and I had no idea when I opened those doors a couple of months ago that I was going to find this Victorian wash copper, which would kind of change what I would do with this building. But it's still going to have great use for the garden, so stick around because we're going to start pulling it all together. Really pleased with the Sheila Maid that we've just put up. It is quite in keeping with the idea of this being a washroom. Obviously, I'm not going to be using it to dry washing on. My idea for this is to tie flowers or herbs to it and then dry some garlic or onions across it in summer. But we're just stalling for time because the next job is fitting the wash copper. And I have to say, I'm a little bit nervous about this one. Get everything out of the way. And we're going to try and just place it in here and then put the beading around for it and then jack it up underneath so it just takes the weight of it while the beading sets. If we need that, we're not sure. You can see now it's fitted that this wash copper is an inch smaller than the other one. We've got half an inch each side. But that was a small trade-off to pay for having one in such good condition. Duncan is using some fire cement here, which is what we were recommended to fit the wash copper with. Just going to try and lower it in. You can see if I just pan down that Duncan has put a jack in there just to take the weight of it so it doesn't fall down heavy. Oh, it's going. It's not level this side, but it's going. It's not very centred, is it? There it is. Right, it's down at the back. Right, so we've got this on. This is a bread dough thing. I'm just I'm really pleased with how that's turned out, and hopefully when it dries, it just will match the other cement. It's just perfect. Just what I wanted. I could not be more thrilled with how this side has worked out now. Drop down table, absolutely perfect. The cover on the sink just to protect it, but it also means that I have a workable bench in here to use this as a potting shed as well. I love it, absolutely love it. I'm thrilled. Thank you for following this mini restoration journey. I'm sure the building is yet to evolve even more. Some shelving, cupboards, the door wants painting, the windows want finishing off. But for now, I'm absolutely delighted with what has been achieved in this video. Thank you for watching. Look after yourselves. Bye.